Hello, my name is Wabatuba and welcome to my channel. In this video I'll be going over the hidden stats for movement speed on all the foregrips in Modern Warfare, and in this series of tests I'll be using the Grau. I haven't tested every gun, but from what I can tell, these stats affect each category of guns differently. The assault rifles and SMGs appear to have the same modifiers, but they don't seem to affect LMGs quite as much. I haven't tested marksman rifles. First I'll be going over the testing methodology. I've got the perfect starting position right over here, right in this corner, and we look at that pipe over there and press back up and right, and we look at the train right over there. That's the end point. So I aim each time roughly for that vertical line. What's good about this test here is that train is perfectly perpendicular to our route, so even if we're ever so slightly off with our aim, we're still going to roughly travel the same distance. If we're doing a strafe test, I look directly into the center of this pipe, and that's the starting point. Okay, so disclaimer here, macros will get you banned in-game, but to my knowledge, in a private match, for testing purposes, I don't think you get banned. So what I use here is this program called Xnote Stopwatch. With that, I can bind a hotkey to start, stop, and reset the timer. And then I've got these macros on this old MMO mouse that I've got. And I'll show you a couple right here. So the forward aim down sight test, so it presses the hotkey to start the timer, and in that same millisecond, I press the hotkey to auto move forward. Alright, so before I go any further, I will just show you the results of the test, and I will post a link to this in the description below. So with the base gun with no attachments, I've got the results here. So that's in seconds, those numbers there. And then the percentage columns, that is how much slower in red or negative, or how much faster in green or a positive percentage. You may notice that there is some incomplete data in here, and that's because I noticed that there's two different modifiers, and I didn't need to run those tests for each of those. So there's a modifier that affects walk and sprint speed, and then there's a modifier that affects both forward aim down sight, crouch aim down sight, and strafe aim down sight. So we see down here with the Commando Foregrip, roughly 2% slower movement speed, and then it's actually going to make your, it's going to have that modifier for the aim down sight, strafe, forward, crouch, at minus 17.46%, roughly 17.5%. And with the Merc Foregrip, interestingly enough, it actually speeds you up by about 4%, and then a slightly less bad 13.5% on those other modifiers. And the Ranger Foregrip, not losing out too much there, negative 1% on the sprint speed and the strafe speed, similar to the Merc Foregrip, 13.5% roughly. Now the most balanced with the movement speed is the Operator Foregrip, only decreasing your movement speed by 0.5%, and then only decreasing the other values, crouch aim down sight, forward aim down sight, and so on, by negative 2%. And lastly, the Cronin, which from what I could tell is very similar to the Tactical Foregrip and should have the same modifiers. 1% slower on the movement speed, and then on the modified movement speed, 7.5% slower, roughly. Alright, and that concludes my dialogue. So I'll just get into the tests. Here you go. And just one last thing, the order of these tests that you'll be watching is, it'll be going base, Commando, Merc, Ranger, Operator, Cronin, exactly like in the spreadsheet. Alright, thanks for tolerating my third-rate production quality here. Feel free to like and subscribe, because I probably won't ever bother you with notifications unless it's something similar to this. A few months down the road, who knows. Yeah, alright, you guys have a good one.
Bravo, stand by. We captured Bravo.